Hello Lanners, Gomez here for the LAN Up channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you all know, I like to consider myself to be quite a smart man. I mean, I don't know whether or not you think that. I've probably proven myself wrong on that count on many times. But today we're going to prove it. Because I checked over on Brightside. Brightside have got a number of different videos which are all to do with riddles, puzzles and stuff like that. So I'll put a link down below to the video I'm going to be watching. But there's many more there if you want to check them out. And the video was called, If You Can Solve Half These Riddles, Tell Your Friends That You Are the Chosen One. And if there's anything that I want is internet validation that I am the chosen one. So this is how I did. Let's see how I got on.
Tom was a college student. He worked as a delivery guy in his spare time to earn his living. One day, he got a task to deliver a mysterious black box to a seemingly abandoned lab.
Ooh.
He saw 3 doors.
Okay,
there was a bottomless pit behind the first door. Behind the second door, there was a tiny elevator. And the third door led to a room with no exit. What should Tom choose?
The choice is plummet, and to be fair, it does say bottomless pit. So it's a continuous just plummet. There's never going to be an end. If this truly is, I mean, there is no such thing as the 100% a bottomless pit. But this would just mean we'll just keep plummeting into our death and would never actually find it. In this room, there's no exit. So what's the hell the point of it? What's the point of going in there? It's got to be a tiny elevator. It's a tiny elevator, but we've heard nothing else about it that's bad other than the fact it's a tiny elevator. I mean, I guess claustrophobia is about the only thing which would make you feel. I mean, you know what? We'll take the stairs. That's the option. We'll take the stairs. But no, out of these 3 options, if these were the only 3 options I had, tiny elevator.
Even if Tom is afraid of confined spaces, he can still get to the street and escape.
Exactly.
Tom managed to break free and decided to deliver the box as soon as possible.
I mean, he's a delivery driver. It's his whole job.
He stopped to tie his shoelaces and put the box on a bench nearby. But when he finished with his shoelaces, he noticed that the box had disappeared.
Right, number 1, Tom has got really shit peripheral vision. How did he not see somebody take it from where he was in terms of... I know he bent down, but there is such thing as peripheral vision. And so, Tom's already an idiot. That's what we've found out.
Tom looked around and saw a thief running away with the box. They were wearing a mask, so Tom couldn't see their face. Tom followed the thief to the library and saw 4 people in the reading room. Can you help Tom decide which one is the thief?
Firstly, number 1, if this was a true situation, wouldn't you just ask the librarian? Somebody just ran in here with a big box. Who was it? Or wouldn't you go round the desks and see if you can find? Because it's going to be really hard for them to kind of consider. Like, it could be behind the desk. It's a big black box at the end of the day. So that's what you would do. In terms of out of these people, the only thing that's suspicious is they're in a library and I see nobody with a book. Like, that's the only suspicious thing. What are these people doing to sit around in a library? Unless there's like a book on the tables, but we can't see. The thing with this is, I shouldn't have paused this because I feel like this is actually a time-sensitive one that you're just supposed to look at. Because now that I'm looking at this image, everyone's hand is kind of normal other than this one that's got like a scratch or something on it. So I feel like it's going to be her, but I don't know that for a guaranteed fact.
The thief had a scar on her left hand.
Okay, yeah, so it was...
Tom asked the woman to return the box.
I would say that I probably only got that because I paused the video. If I hadn't paused the video, I probably wouldn't have got that.
She said, okay, but first, you have to solve my riddle.
What? I'm sorry. What? Did that just say what I thought it said? In terms of, she stole the box. You go up to her and go, give me back my box. And she's like, I will give you back my box, but only if you solve this riddle. So fucking give me back my box. It's one of these things whereby it's going to be a letter. It's like that whole thing with I appear once in a bloom. Like, I can't remember what the whole thing is. It's going to be something to do with a letter. So there's one letter which is inside tomorrow. There's a letter that's inside yesterday. So the letter R is in both of these bits, not in this. But yeah, again. But I want to pause it because I want to talk this through with you guys.
The correct answer is the letter R.
Yeah, there we go.
Tom brought a sandwich, left it on a table, and went to the bathroom to wash his hands. When he came back, he saw 3 people standing by his table.
I mean, who does that? Am I the only one? Am I the only one who thinks that's a bit weird? He left his sandwich unattended while he went to the toilet. I don't know about anyone else, but unless there was somebody else with me, like if I'm with my girlfriend or I'm with some friends, I don't mind like getting something and then leaving it at the table with them, because like I trust them well enough to believe they're gonna protect my food and that nothing's gonna get put in my food. I mean, I say that sometimes with my friends, maybe I shouldn't trust that, but who would buy a sandwich and then just leave it on the table to go to the toilet? Let's leave it completely unattended. I feel like you're just asking for trouble at that stage, right?
Table, and the sandwich was gone. Can you guess who ate Tom's food?
I mean, suddenly these crumbs appeared on this man's face. No one else has got crumbs on their face, and so they just appeared on, like, it's that guy, right?
This guy over there. He left some crumbs.
He's got crumbs on his face. These are not the hardest riddles.
Take a bus to get to the lab in time, but as soon as
I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought these were gonna be hard riddles.
he took a seat, Tom noticed a vampire among the passengers. Can you see the vampire too?
He noticed the vampire. Yes, you know, that standard thing where you're on a commuting bus, you just notice a vampire. If these were the only 3 options, I would choose the woman in the middle, because I'd say that she's got a big coat on. It might be the fact that it's a sunny day outside and she's got a big coat on. Why would she be wearing a big coat? I wouldn't necessarily think vampire. I would think she's maybe a little bit weird for wearing a coat while it's hot outside. She's the only one who I can think is a vampire, because she's got a big coat on with a hood on. It's not like somebody's not eating garlic or backing away from a crucifix or something. Like, so I'm gonna say her, but only because she's wearing a big coat.
This woman over there, she's wearing an oversized hoodie to hide her sensitive skin from sunlight. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's a vampire, but the absence of any shadow is 100% proof. When Tom tried to pay for his bus ticket, he realized he had left his wallet at the coffee shop. Luckily, the driver said, "I won't call the police if you can solve my riddle."
What world is this? What this is like what this is this is the equivalent of Yu-Gi-Oh, but with, instead of I challenge you to a children's card game to solve any problem which is going on, this is, can you solve my riddle? Like, this world is literally, as long as you've got all the riddles. Why am I not in this world? You can't pay your rent, but if you can solve this riddle, you can live here rent-free for the rest of your life.
I make loud sounds when I change. After I change, I get bigger, but way less. What am I?
You know what? I don't actually know. That one, you know what? Have it, because my mind can't think what the hell that is.
It's popcorn.
I honestly never heard that before.
Shop. The driver stopped in the middle of nowhere and took out a weird gadget. He opened a portal that transported Tom to the top of a mountain. There, he met his own evil twin from a parallel universe, and this twin wanted the box. Tom started running and fell into an ice cave with 3 tunnels.
Okay.
There was a hungry cougar inside the first tunnel. The second tunnel was full of bats that fed on human blood. Right. And a dozen evil wizards were waiting for Tom inside the third tunnel. Which way should he choose?
There's a vicious animal in the first one. There is loads of bloodthirsty bats. But obviously, if they go for it, like, it depends on. Wait, what time of day was this? I kind of didn't say, but they're in a cave. It wouldn't matter what time. I was gonna say, because they're like bats are nocturnal. So is it gonna be something to do with the fact that bats are nocturnal? And so, like, if it's daytime, now's the time to go in there, or is it just to go through the wizards? Because although the wizards are evil, they're not inherently going to go for you. Like, who knows? They might not be evil against you. Like, if you, like, what about if you dressed up as a wizard and went through the wizard? I'm gonna say the wizards. And the only reason I'm gonna say the wizards is because they might be evil, but they're not inherently gonna go for you.
The bats are sleeping because it's daytime.
I thought that might be what it was, but I wasn't sure. Like, in terms of, I didn't hear what time of day it was. But regardless, I still would have gone with the wizards.
Tom tried to buy a plane ticket back to New York, but he didn't have any money. Suddenly, Lily, a famous blogger and influencer, invited Tom into the business class lounge. She was celebrating her birthday with her friends. Yeah. Unfortunately, their magic knife could only make 3 cuts. They couldn't figure out how to split the cake into 8 pieces.
The magic knife, it can only make 3 cuts and then it's useless. I don't know why we keep buying these knives. The question is the cake in this form already? This cake is already split into 6 pieces? Or am I working with a full cake? It's not easy. I'm trying to remember. Like, there is actually a way of cutting a cake where it doesn't matter how you cut it, but it'd be like... I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
First, they should cut the cake in half.
Right.
Then they can make another cut so that there are 4 equal pieces.
Right.
Now they need to cut the cake sideways through the middle so that it has 2 layers.
You say you do it that way, but that's gonna be somebody... Like, there's gonna be 4 people who are not getting any frosting. Because the way if you're cutting it through the middle, then yeah, sure, they get a jam layer. You say this is how it would be done, but would it be done like that? I mean, I feel like you'd have half the people really pissed off because they're gonna have a piece of cake without frosting. I don't know about anyone else, but I really like frosting on cake.
A scientist met Tom inside the lab.
Now.
He locked all the doors as soon as Tom got inside. The man told Tom,
Tom's not having a good
going
day.
anywhere until I make sure the delivery is fine.
Okay.
But the box was empty.
Oh my
the scientist
God,
got
it's
furious
Schrodinger's
and
cat.
offered Tom to choose between 3 dangerous options to escape. There was a room with a wet floor and hanging wires behind the first door.
Okay.
Hungry monsters were waiting behind the second door.
Right.
And there was a portal leading to an open space behind the third door. What door should Tom choose to survive?
Not necessarily does that portal lead to death. Also, first one, as long as the electric is suspended above the water, if you crawled through the water or like paddled through the water and didn't touch the electric, as long as there was nothing that was ever going to make the electric touch the water, in terms of, let's say that the scientist doesn't just like, you know, throw a spanner into the works quite literally and like throw something in which like makes the electric go into, or puts more water into the room. That's actually relatively safe. Obviously the middle one's death, but the third one's not necessarily death. It depends on where the portal goes to, but we don't really know where the portal goes to. So the only safe answer in my opinion is the water.
The first one. The wires don't touch the floor and he can easily crawl under them. The scientist congratulated Tom and offered him another riddle to test his intelligence.
It's like an evil Bond villain. You have escaped my mastermind plan of trying to kill you. Now let's celebrate. And here's a riddle just for good measure.
Take away my first letter, and I still sound the same. Take away my last letter, I still sound the same. Take away my middle letter, and I will still sound the same. I am a 5-letter word. What am I?
5-letter word. If you take away the first bit of it, it still basically means the same. If you take away the last bit of it, it still means the same. Take away the middle, it still means the same. I've got no idea. I mean, let's just say this is under a time limit. I don't know. I'm actually intrigued to know what the answer is.
The scientist was satisfied and confessed that he had invented pills.
You know what? That riddle has actually confused me. Like, I will have to look back on that and try and work out how that makes sense. Because to me, that doesn't make any sense.
Pills of immortality. He promised to give them to Tom if he succeeded in choosing the right box. There were 3 boxes, and only one of them contained the pills.
Okay.
Each box had a statement on it, but only one was true.
Okay.
Can you help understand where the pills are?
The pills are in this box. The pills are not in this box. The pills are not in box 1. If all the statements are lying, let's just say that all the statements are lying. This statement's a lie, this statement's a lie, this statement's a lie. Then the pills are in the middle box, because if they're all lying, then that's the only one that makes sense.
If the pills were in the first box, there would be 2 true statements, and if the pills were in the third box, there would also be 2 true statements. But since we only need 1 true statement, the pills can only be inside the second box.
Okay, I didn't actually read
Tom
that bit.
opened the box and saw 4 pills. 2 of them were red, and 2 were blue.
Ooh,
the scientist explained that Tom should eat 1 red pill and 1 blue pill at the same time to gain immortality. An overdose could cause the opposite effect. The scientist decided to give Tom 4 pills just in case one of them got lost. Tom put the pills in his pocket and left the lab. Suddenly, his evil twin opened a portal and grabbed Tom. He blindfolded him and threw him into an airtight room. Tom could move and had some oxygen, but for a very short time. So, he took the pills out. Unfortunately, he couldn't distinguish the colors or tell any difference between the 4 pills. What should Tom do to become immortal and save his life?
If you had 4, you couldn't see what the hell they were. I mean, wait a minute, he's got his hands free. Why does he just take the blindfold off? Like, his hands are free. Just take the blindfold off and then see what the hell you're doing. You know what? I'll eat them all. I'll take the blindfold off.
The guy should break the pills and eat half of each pill.
The only problem with that is, if they're capsules, then, like, the medicine in the middle of capsules, like, it'd be really hard to half them, especially if you're blindfolded, to get the actual, because the granules that are in, so it's kind of smart the way that it's been said, but also bollocks if they were capsules, so that it had, like, the stuff in the middle, like, in terms of, if they were tablets you can break in half and you're going to be fine with, but if they're capsules, less easy to do so. Just want to point that out. So yes, after that performance, it's quite clear to say that I am the one. I am Neo himself, because it did say, if you got more than half, then tell your friends, you are my friends, that you are the one. So I am now the chosen one. I mean, was there any doubt? But let me know what you think down in the comment section down below about this content, because obviously this is different content on this channel. Or you can catch me live when I'm doing this stuff over on Twitch, so shameless plug time, all the things down here. But I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. If you like this video, why not consider hitting that like button? And if you did enjoy it so much and you're not already subscribed, why not consider hitting that subscribe button? But I said, do not feel forced. If you do want to check out more riddle stuff like this, check out Brightside. I have got a link to the video down below, but also, like, Brightside do a number of things like this in terms of Ridley type things, so if you want to test your brain, why not consider looking at those? But I said, thank you so much, and until next time, goodbye!
From flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me? Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.